Servus and hello, my name is Fireball313 and this is a new episode of Beyond the Game. The main topic of this video this time is about the Legacy Edition of Metroid Samus Return, what came out exclusively for the Nintendo 3DS back in 2017. And this is not an original title, this is a remake of the Game Boy Classic game Metroid II Samus Return, what came out in 1991. So this is in the timeline, the successor of the first Metroid back on the NES. Yes, I think I mentioned this already in the past that the first Metroid didn't make a huge impression on me. I don't know why, but I compared the game with Mega Man because I was back then a huge Mega Man fan, and it's a similar gameplay. I mean, you have a personality, you have a person with an arm what is shaped like a gun, you know. But Metroid is a different game. It's more exploring and stuff like that. But Mega Man was more sexy back then for me, and yeah, and I don't know. While I was playing the first Metroid, it didn't felt right for me. I don't know, but I wanted to give the game or the franchise a second chance. And when the Game Boy game came out back in 1991, I bought this on release, and then I started to got interested in this series. But Super Metroid on the Super Nintendo, I remember, really convinced me to be a fan when we talk about the franchise. Yeah, and then I started to play some of the games, not all of them. On the GameCube I played the Metroid Prime games, really good ones, and I look forward already for the new Metroid Prime 4 game, what comes out I think on the Switch 2. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, at least. What is the storyline about? No, wait. I had actually in the past, like I said, the original game, what I wanted to show here in the channel. But then I remember actually I gave it a couple of years ago. I gave it away to somebody where I really cared. At least I never got it back. So I really missed this original game in my collection. Yeah, but I have at least the Legacy Edition. And this one was a Christmas present. Yeah, so I don't know exactly what was the price of this one. I got this from my girlfriend. Yes, maybe you guys noticed this. I got a lot of collector's edition from my girlfriend. Yes, she is a very lovely person, you know, and this is one of the things where you can see that she cares about me, because she knows I love to collect video games and back then I remember she asked, I told her I want to have just a normal game, and she told me she has the possibility to get the Legacy Edition, and then I said sure, I would like to have, and then she just bought that and gave me this as a present. Yeah, that was really nice. So I must really admit I'm very fortunate to have a girlfriend like that. Yes. Okay, but now focus back on the game. The main storyline takes place after the second part, and with Samus you move to the home planet of the Metroid, and this one calls SR388, and your main mission is to kill 47 remaining Metroids. Yes, because this is a remake, and Nintendo took the foundation of the original game and built on that. So what you get is actually a lot of improvements, new visuals. You get new areas to explore, new abilities. So that game really, I mean, it's a remake. And it takes place, of course, in a scenario what is already over 20 years old, but it feels very new. Yeah, and what is really awesome, Metroid, the series is really made, I mean, at least 2D Metroid is made for a game like the 3DS or the DS because of the second screen. And Metroid is a game what has a lot of labyrinths, you know. You move from one cave to another and you need to explore a lot, and there's a map function, of course, what came I think the first time in Super Metroid. But with the 3DS, because you have two screens, that is really handy. On top you have just the action, and on the second screen you see the map screen, and that is so helpful actually. So yeah, so the handheld is really made for Metroid. Yeah. So, every time I do research before I make a video, what is the price now on the used market? If you want it in used condition, what I have, I mean, because I opened it already, it costs something like 250 euro. If you want it sealed, then it's above 300 euro. If you want just a standard version, you know, then this costs already 30 euro. Yes, and yes, you can play this game through the eShop if you want to download that. Yeah, so okay, now let's look now at the Legacy Edition and what we get. By the way, I like the design of the box. It's quite big. I hope, guys, you notice this, and it feels very solid, and it's heavy, yeah, because we get some content. Yeah, this is the front cover. I like this. This is a new cover art. They didn't took the old one from back then, what we soon see, and this is awesome. You know, really, really awesome. A thumbs up for the designer of this image. Yes, the side looks like that. It's quite minimalistic, and it fits, you know, it fits to the mood, if you ask me. And when we turn it around, here, this is the back. And then you can see already what is included in the Legacy Edition. You get a soundtrack CD, you get the original game as a download code. This is really, really nice. An art book with a nice twist, what soon I want to show. Then the original Nintendo 3DS game, then you get a Morph Ball keyring, and you get a gold S logo badge, and a Steelbook case, what is shaped like a cartridge of the Game Boy. Yeah, that looks on paper really nice, but I have some small complaints, okay? But just small complaints, but step by step. First, let's open this up and let's take everything out. And then we look at all the stuff, what is inside. Wait, so that is everything. Yeah. Let's move this on the right side. And first I want to look at the original game. Yes, that is the original game, and it looks awesome. This is just a standard cover, and now I take the original cover back from the Game Boy game, and you notice something. It fits, of course. So this is a throwback to the original cover design back then. Yes, but I don't know why they scrapped the number 2 out of the title. I don't know why. Because for us, Super Metroid was always Metroid 3, more or less. Even Nintendo didn't call it Metroid 3 back then. Yeah. Like I said, this one here, this standard version costs 30 euro if you want to have it on the used market. Yeah. So the front looks like this, and of course it's compatible with the Nintendo 2DS XL and just the standard one. Yeah. Then of course you don't have any kind of 3D image in this case. Yeah. The back is like this. And it says the hunt is on, Metroid is back. And then you get new abilities, a MIDI counter, you get in free aim. Yeah, some stuff they just claim here. And of course, this is true. Yeah, when you open it, then you get the cartridge. Yes, of course, soon I need this one. Wait, I take this out. Unfortunately, there is no menu. And that is the first complaint. No manual at all, only just some information, things, and a small catalog for the Nintendo 3DS and 2DS. But we can look at that for a second. What we have here is Animal Crossing New Leaf, Pokemon Sun and Moon, Mario Sports Superstar, Fire Emblem, Birthright and Conquest. I don't have this in my collection, by the way. Yeah, New Super Mario Bros. 2, awesome title, Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 3DS. I think this is strange, strange title, why they didn't call it Super Smash Bros. 3DS or something, you know. Why for Nintendo 3DS? I mean, yes, it came out together with the Wii U edition, but the Wii U edition didn't call Wii U edition, you know. So yeah, the best game on the 3DS is, of course, Super Mario 3DS, and then Mario Kart 7 is an all-time classic. Yeah, Animal Crossing Home, Happy Home Designer, never played that one, and Tomodachi Live, never played also. Yeah, and here, these games are not made for me. Let's skip that. And what we have here, what is this? Oh, just software menu. Ah, okay, nothing important. And then standard for 3DS games back then and Wii U, titles, you get a small poster and information. Wait, why is it not open? Okay. You get information about some games from the eShop. Yeah, so then, of course, you get free downloads, and these games you can download. And then you have hundreds of games to download, yes. And then there's, for example, Shantae and the Pirate Curse, Pokemon Rumble World. This game really sucks, actually. Retro City Rampage, that is an awesome title, just cost. They even name here the price, is quite interesting, €9. You get it for the Vita, for the PlayStation 3, for the PlayStation 4. I think on iOS devices and smartphones, this is actually just GTA in a retro design. A very famous game. Then of course some old classic like Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. Crimson Shroud is an interesting dungeon crawler, what reminds me of D&D. It's a download title only, unfortunately, yes. And what else we have here interesting? Yeah, of course, The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening DX. Another World, I didn't knew that even, it's the 20th anniversary, yes. €8, not so expensive. And then some NES titles, yes. And then the Mega Man Legacy Collection, what came out also on the big consoles. And when we turn it around, what else we have? Some puzzle games. The Art of Balanced Touch, yes, I remember I played this one. The Legend of Kusakari. It reminds me of The Legend of Zelda. Yeah, and then is some information about My Nintendo, yeah. If you want to do that, then you can earn some points and have some exclusive things. Yeah, so that's it. So at least this is the standard game. Then we look at the what is it called? Shit, I forgot. Yeah, the Steelbox. This Steelbox, and this one is shaped like an original Game Boy cartridge, of course, way bigger. It has not a glossy touch. It is quite so it really reminds of the old Game Boy. But it's strange for me because the cartridge because the cartridge is just something like that, and now it's so wide, you know, so big, and this is funny. This is the original cover of Metroid II's Return of Samus. Yes, the back looks like this, and when we open it, then you have, this is the inside. Here is the download code for the original Game Boy game. And this is really a nice touch. And what is awesome also is you get a small poster. They don't even mention this on the back of the box. When you are, I remember I was back a member of the Club Nintendo, and then you got monthly a magazine. There was a huge poster of Metroid II when a game got released, and this is exactly the same design. Yes, the only thing what is missing is here the title was then here on the lower part. Yes, and they tell you even how you redeem the code. Yeah, that's it. And what is here? Oh, just different languages. Yeah. At least that is a nice touch, and of course I downloaded it, and then you can play it on your 3DS. Yes. Oh, by the way, the inside of the Steelbook is just gray. It's a small complaint, but of course it's quite original because the cartridge from the inside is gray also, and I understand that. What I just want to do is I place the cartridge of the 3DS game there, and then you see how it looks. Yeah, it's okay, I would say. Yeah, so take it out again. Okay. So, wait. I want to organize myself. 1 second. Then you get, and this is quite interesting, a badge, and this one I can open, and then I take it out. This is the packaging with a shiny art design. And it's a package of a wedding ring or something, or a necklace, a small one. And then you open it and you have the badge of Samus, and it's golden metal, and the quality is nice, solid, yes, and has a nice weight, doesn't feel too cheap. And wait, I want to polish it. Yeah, so looks awesome. Yes. Let's put it back. Wait. Then there is the keychain, and the keychain looks like a morph ball. I don't want to open it. Yeah, and it's inside here, and it looks like that. Then. And now we look at the art book. Like I said, unfortunately, there is no manual, but you get an art book, and that is nice also. And the art book has an interesting twist because it shows artworks from the original Game Boy game, and on the other side about the remake. And first, I want to look at the old game, so you can, and then you can see and how it looks. And this is really nice. I never opened a book before, so it's the first time that I even watched that. Yes, and here are original designs of Samus. And this is the pose of the cover. This one, or later this one, yes. But I must admit, she looks more threatening here in this pose. Because I think her gun is a little bit bigger there. Yes. And that's her ship. I don't remember the name actually of the ship. Yeah. And here you get all the upgrades. And I always like, to see the progress. I mean, everything starts with drawings, when it's about level design and characters, environment. And this gives so much insight, And by the way, I admire people who can draw like that. I wish I could do this also. This is an energy tank, yes. Looks really cool. And these are some of the Metroids. I really like that, Gives a 3D perspective, Wow, awesome. And here are some of the enemies. This one has a nice expression in his face. He looks a little bit like that you told him a bad joke or something, Then he's like, huh, what are you talking about? This one looks a little bit sad, I think. No, and I don't make any fun out of the artwork. No, it's just comes up in my head, this idea. So, and then we have again the original cover design of Metroid II. And what is now cool, like I said, I switch around. And now we look at the art style of the remake. And they do the same procedure with the logo, and that looks so awesome, so cool. Yeah. And here, these are the art styles now of the remake. This looks awesome. Here's a comparison how big the ship really is. That I would really like to have this as a poster. This looks so cool. Yes, check this out. So awesome. For example, this. Crazy, yes. Then some level maps. But if I had to choose between 2D Metroid or 3D Metroid, I would always go with 2D Metroid. It feels for me, I don't know, more natural to play this game, because maybe Metroid started as a 2D game, you know, at least it's my impression. So that doesn't mean that the 3D version games are bad like Metroid Prime. No, they are really, really awesome. But 2D Metroid is more sexy for me. Let's say it like that. Yes. So, and here we have some Metroids also. This looks so cool. And you see even the progress when we talk about the character design. I mean, let's look at the drawings, you know, over 20 years ago, you know, or 30 years ago, actually. You know, I mean, already the detail is awesome. But when you compare it with now, this is a total different generation, you know, this is totally new thing. Oh, wait. And here's a comparison how big the monster is compared with Samus. I hope you guys can see that. Yeah. So cool, huh? Yeah. And then at the end, you always get this image, and this is nice. This is a throwback to the original one. So this is the original one. And then you turn it around, and this is the new one. Yeah, I love the art book. Really, really awesome. By the way, the paper quality is awesome, is good. There's no complaints. It's thick enough, you know. You have a small glossy touch, I would say, on both sides. And you can see it, wait, yeah, like this. And here also, yeah. And I must admit, I like the letter design here more than this one. This gives more depth and perspective, yes, but I don't know. It's just even with the metal touch what they have on the letters, you know, that is nicer, I think. Yeah. Okay, then, and now the second complaint what I have is this soundtrack. Yes, this is a soundtrack and it comes on a CD, not a digital download. That is awesome, no complaints. I mean, this is Metroid Samus Return, and what I would expect is that I get the new soundtrack and maybe some old soundtrack from the original Game Boy game. This is what I would expect, but no, this is more or less a best of Metroid soundtrack. Yeah. By the way, first let's open this up. It's a small case. It's not a jewel case. It's a paper case. And here you have Pixel Samus. Looks nice, and black and white design. And I like the design. I like the print also here. And they even tell you how you must use this for use with CD players, of course. Yeah. And then here you have the logo. No complaints about that. And now, when we look at the playlist, what do we get? We get actually a best of all the Metroid games. So, for example, here on track, the first one is Metroid Other M Resolved. So then the second song is from Metroid 1. The third song is from Metroid 2. And then we go, for example, number 8 is Super Metroid, and number 9 also. Then on 10 is Metroid Fusion. Number 11 is Metroid Prime. Then you get the Metroid Prime theme. Number 12 is Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. Yeah, and then you get a little bit, a piece of everything, but not completely everything. And this is this is the biggest complaint what I have in this collection. I would just like to have the original soundtrack, you know, from the remake, maybe then with some old songs from the Game Boy version, and then maybe as a second CD you could do this one here. Yes, but this is my opinion, okay? I mean, besides the manual, there is no complaints about the quality, stuff like that. But I think Nintendo had a reason to include this one here in this collection. So, and that's about the Legacy Edition for the Nintendo 3DS. Now, if you want to know my opinion about is it this version worth buying? Yeah, if the price is right. For example, completely sealed, 300 euro is way too expensive. Even the used one for 250 is still expensive. If you find it in the wild complete, like for 120 euro, then just go for it. You can do nothing wrong. Yeah. I like the Legacy Edition. I mean, normally I complain when there is no menu inside. This is a minor thing for me. The biggest disappointment or letdown, let's say it like that, is the soundtrack selection. You know, I would like to have the original soundtrack of this game or not the soundtrack selection of everything, you know. Yeah, besides that, I'm happy. Nice quality, and it's a nice thing to have. Yes, and by the way, the game of course is awesome. And if you played Metroid Samus Return for the first time on the 3DS, and then you play the original, you don't want to play the original anymore, because they really improved everything, you know, based on the original game, and this game is more superior. Of course, remakes should be always like that. Yes. And that's it with this video. If you guys like my content, give me a thumbs up or subscribe. See you next time, guys, and don't forget to support your local video game store. Servus!